Where's Mommy?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. This is episode number 10. Number 10. This is Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids. Where we just talk about our kids on a weekly basis of what they have done to get on our absolute nerves. I'm your boy Charles and with my boy Kenny.
Kenny B.
And we get right into the show as we always do.
Yeah.
This week has been a very good week for me, even though the kids have been out of school because of our fake hurricane that was supposed to be here in Florida.
If you're watching this anywhere else in the world, because we have a worldwide impact, or in the United States, in Northeast Florida area, the Hurricane Idalia came through. So we dealt with the oncoming storm, have to sound a little educated. And as a Floridian, it's an old hat to you. You know, you always take these things serious, but we Floridians don't ever take them quite serious enough because in most cases we've been through a lot of these throughout our lifetime. And the images you see on like CNN and stuff like that,
it never happens here.
It does, at least in our part of Florida, in Jacksonville. You know, so we're kind of perfectly placed to where we seldom get head-on hits. But as a precaution, you know, school was out for a few days, even though school just started. So, you know, that momentum slows down. But school was out for a few days and the kids were home. And, of course, kids being home creates more opportunities to get on our nerves. And so that's what we've had to deal with. Now, my kids being in a private school, you know, because reasons, they were only out one day. However, public school kids, you know, by decree of the county, were out 3 days. And so, you know, I felt for parents who've had to have their kids home for 3 days, as I've only had to have my kids home for one.
Yeah, the 3 days has been, I guess it's been normal. They haven't really bothered me. I kind of closed my door and told me to leave them alone. And the issue is with the tablets. It's always the tablets every week. Mm-hmm. But this week, since I didn't want them to get on my nerves as much, I kind of allowed the tablets to creep out a little bit more than they should have.
Right.
The only thing I hate about my kids is when they first get up in the morning, the first thing they come in my office, because I'm already on the clock working, they come in and the first thing is, Dad, can I get my tablet? There's no good morning, there's no hug, no
they didn't brush their teeth yet.
Haven't brushed your teeth, haven't washed your face. So that irritates me before I start taking calls in the morning, and I make sure my customers know that as well. So that's the only thing that irritates me. But they've been doing better with, you know, good morning, Dad, and, you know, brushing their teeth and washing their face before they ask me about the tablets. But the teachers send homework on Monday, so they have to make sure all their homework is done before they can get on the tablet. So it was a struggle this week for Khloi, obviously. She wants her tablet so bad. On Tuesday, actually, the Tuesday right after I think it was Tuesday, the first day out after the hurricane, they're running around playing. Don't have to go to school the next day, so they want their tablets, but Khloi needs to learn her words first.
Right.
Still need to learn her words, and
you always have to earn it. You still got to earn it.
You got to earn it. She actually got through the words pretty good. But I added another level of difficulty to it because it was just too easy. So what we did was started doing numbers. And for some reason, she doesn't understand the words back and, I guess, forward.
Forward, yeah.
I guess not really. You know, she knows how to go back and she knows how to go forward if you're talking about walking and stuff. But when I say what is before 10, she doesn't understand that lingo or something. Something's not clicking in her head where she said just go back one.
Right.
She always, for some reason, goes to 11, or when I say go forward, she goes to 9. I don't know if she's dyslexic or whatever was going on with that, but she always does the opposite.
Right.
So we had a struggle with that, and it got blown up to the point where I said no tablets. No tablets for Kennedy or Khloi, because at this point I'm pissed off.
You should know this.
You should know this. And so she went the whole day. Actually had to give her a whipping on Tuesday, the first day out of school, because the first day home. The first day I had to actually give her a whipping. I haven't gave my kid a whipping in so long.
Right.
So long. Don't never put my hands on them. Don't never put a belt on them ever. But this instance required a whipping.
Right.
So we ended up doing the work, and I think because of me, I always put the ownership on me. I'm hard on. I'm like, hey, let's get this. It's easy, because it's easy. It should be easy, because I always amount her to her sister, which obviously is wrong. But,
right.
So I'm like, let's get it. She's not getting it, and I can see it on her face. Mm-hmm. She's getting upset. She's getting down. I don't know. I don't think it's going too far as she comparing herself to the sister. I think I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I don't know if it got that far yet. But you can see the look on her face that she's not getting it.
She's getting discouraged.
And then when I'm over, that's obviously not helping.
Right.
So it got to that point, and she shut down on me. And then her thing is now when she shuts down, she runs to her room and jumps on the bed and just starts just boohoo crying like somebody just destroyed her. Right.
She want to be dramatic now.
So I told her no tablets, because you can't get this, and you want to get the tablets. You know how to do everything on that tablet, but you don't want to do this. So she gets upset. I hear her run into the room, and she slams the door. And that's
a whole other level of life.
That blew
Who do you think
my
you
mind.
Are? Who do you think you are?
I can't tell you how fast I got up. I got up so fast, found the belt. I got up so fast, I had to go back and get the belt. It was shocking to me.
It's almost like you would have been better off saying, "Shut up, Dad."
Yes.
Just slamming the door.
Yes. Because it just triggered something in me, like, what in the world?
Who do you think you are?
So I got up, went to her room, forgot the belt, had to go back and get the belt. So I'm wiggling the belt down here. My oldest one is in the hallway watching me come. He moving to the side like,
hey,
I don't want no parts of this.
Right. He coming for me, right?
So I went in there and wore her out. The first time I done whipped her in probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's been some time.
But I feel like she needed it. But yeah, that's how it started out. After that, it got kind of smooth. She got her sight words and she got her numbers down. So
it's almost like hitting a reset button. Like
I think she needed that every now and then. I think because the threats haven't been hitting home
right
lately, so
because it's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3-4 years.
She don't even remember last time she got
right. So yeah, she got a whipping today. 2 days ago, and I made sure I got my licks in. It was one of those old school whippings. When you whip them and you're trying to teach them at the same time, you gonna learn these lessons, and you ain't gonna be slamming no door in this house. You ain't gonna be doing this, and you act like you grown. You just gonna sit in your bed. Yeah. So it was one of those. What? Here go a message. What? Here go another message. What? Don't know if she getting any of that, because she just screaming at this point. She probably didn't hear nothing I said. But it hit home on me. So if I heard it, she heard it. That's how I feel.
I only had 1 day of hurricane because my kids' school say we put our trust and faith in the Lord.
Yes.
Not the weatherman.
Yes.
So I guess they came up to their own conclusion and say we only have 1 day, which cool. I'm not complaining. And of course, if you feel like it's still not safe, I guess you can hold them home extra. But this week, I tried not to focus too heavy on school, even though the Tuesday night or Monday night before, my son Trey, the one in kindergarten, his teacher gives a phone call. Now it was his mom's phone, so she didn't answer at the time, but she left a message saying that he's having a hard time staying awake in class. And then out of his mouth, he's saying, I'm not getting much sleep at home, and I'm just so tired. So what pissed me off about the phone call was that she opened it with, "I'm not sure what's going on at home." like we have him out here strung out till 11:30 at night, just watching movies. I'm not sure what's going on at home. Like, it's chaos over here.
Yeah,
this boy go to sleep by at least 8:00, 8:15 at the most, or at least in bed. Can't guarantee he sleep, but he's getting ample opportunity to have a good night rest. But the fact she made it sound, and I feel like it was a little
attack.
It was a little racism in there. Yeah. He's a black kid. Who knows what goes on in their home?
Right.
The dad probably not there.
Right.
The mom is on heroin or something.
Yeah.
It made me feel the type of way. But getting past all that, so the night before they were supposed to go back to school, he was in bed by 7:30. Since you want to tell your teacher that you're not getting enough rest, the sun not even down yet.
Yeah,
it's still day, and he's questioning. It's still daylight. It's not because you're so tired. You about to get all the sleep. You about to get and I bet not hear your mouth or hear your voice. Since you want to go to school now, like you so tired. So that's kind of like the one school thing. My daughter. I guess she's going through the changes in friendship. I guess that happens in middle school. So one of her friends, or at this point somebody who she thought was her friend,
right,
had a birthday party, had a sleepover, and she come to school Monday and find out about it.
She wasn't invited.
So they come asking her, how come you weren't at the party? Da, da, da. She's like, I didn't know about the party.
That's the worst.
Ooh, baby.
That's the worst.
And it's like, as me and my wife talked about it, we was like, this that point where friendships start to change. Who you was best friends with at elementary school. Maybe you get to middle school and you make your own new circle of friends and stuff like that. And it's a hard road, and I don't want to sound any type of way, but young ladies seem to have more tumultuous friendships than boys do. It seems like,
right?
They, the mean girls and the cliques they form and all different type of stuff. So. Listen, I don't have any advice to give her, so I've stayed out the conversations this week.
Right.
So her mom have been navigating that, but I'm on the side like,
that's one of the worst feelings, bro.
Yeah, and
to be left out.
And I'm like, well, you got a birthday in a couple months. You do the same thing. Be petty, get back. And then be obvious about it in school.
Right.
Oh, you want to come to my party, Stacy? While you look at the girl. Yeah. And what's up? That's me though. I'm a terrible person. So
feel a little better.
But yeah. So but as far as them being home over the hurricane day anyway, listen. My youngest 2. So Trey 5, Torrance 4. Torrance asked about starting soccer. It's something that his other siblings have done, and he's like, he didn't say it as mature as I'm about to say it, but he was like, I'm 4 now and might be able to play soccer. And when he asked me about soccer, I said, oh, you are 4 now. That's something, we should look into, to get him started and building a little athletic ability, hand-eye coordination, all different type of stuff. So Trey is a douche. Trey go out of his way to just be mean-spirited sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would you? And why would you say that, Trey? Like, so when Torrance was talking about playing soccer, Trey, nobody asked. Trey said, "I feel like maybe the other kids are faster than you." What? And I popped his leg. I said, "Why would you say that?" And he talking about. I said, "Maybe." Like that make it better. You just mean for no reason. Why would you? I feel like maybe the other kids are faster than you. What?
It needed to be said, I guess.
It just needed to be said. It's like you're cushioning him from disappointment.
Yes.
Like well, I knew some of the kids would be faster than me, so I don't feel as bad. I don't know, but I'm like, why would you say that? Like, and so and other times, like, the thing with him being the douche is that he don't be wrong necessarily,
right?
But it's just like the spirit that you giving is just mean spirited. Like Torrance will say, he's 4 years old, he's still learning words, structuring his sentences, so he don't say everything perfect or whatever. So Torrance will say something like, man, like, gosh, he'll say something like, it's supposed to be. I don't have any either, but he'll say, I don't have any, I don't know, two or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Trey will say, you're supposed to say either. Like, I'll be like, Trey, chill out, man. And then,
chill out, bro.
Then Torrance a hothead, so of course he feel attacked.
Now we fight.
Now he screaming and throwing hands because that's what Torrance do. He throw hands. Right. So now I'm breaking up a fight, telling Trey, be nice to your brother, man. Like that, you don't have to be like. I have siblings too. It's 4 of us or whatever, and we looked out for each other, right? We protect each other. This ain't to say we didn't argue. We argued and fought in our own right, but we weren't just mean spirited to each other. Mm-hmm. And Trey he just take every opportunity to just be mean. Like just this week too. I'm talking to Torrance. Trey over on his tablet. I say something to Torrance. Trey sits up and just say something to me. Like, first of all, nobody was talking to you. And then B, why do you go out of your way to be a douche? And I say douche. I'm sure he don't know what it means, but it's going to be a word he hears his whole childhood. And when he do learn what it means, maybe it make him feel bad. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, that's the same way with Khloi. She's just... she's the meanest, nicest person out. Like, I don't understand the reason. I walked in today before we came over here. Before I came over here, I guess my wife told them to fix the closet together. So they in there trying to work together and fix the closet up, put the shoes up, and all I hear is yelling and screaming and crying and da-da-da. So I walk in on her throwing the shoe at my oldest. And I'm like, why?
Right.
I guess because I didn't never have that brother sister coming up thing because my sister was so much older, so we didn't get in fights.
Right.
So I don't understand the sibling fights all the time. It's just, I guess, because you understand their what annoys them. I guess it's like a marriage type of thing. You know, it kind of pushes your buttons and kind of things. So they make sure she pushes her buttons when she needs to be pushed.
Right.
And it just
be unnecessary.
I don't like the unnecessary. I don't mind the crying. If you're crying, okay, we can deal with that. But I just don't like the whining. Are you really crying? Are you not crying? That's the thing that pushes me over the edge.
That take me to like my youngest Torrance. Now, he does that. He don't really do it with me, but with his mom, he does it a lot. She'll come home or when she's home or whatever, like he talks to her on a whole other, and she has the ability, and maybe because she's a teacher, she has the ability to tune him out. And he just goes and I want apple juice, can I have apple juice? And I could be in my office working, I could be anywhere, I could be in the garage, I could be outside doing yard work, and I will fly in the house and say, shut that noise up. And
it annoys me.
You know, I'm like, you're not a baby. Like, you're big, and I sell him on, you're a big boy now. Like, stop all that whining. Nah, and then he gets in front of her and does the jumpy thing. Like, and then, I don't want to say I fuss at my wife, but maybe, look, why are you letting him do this? Like, stop it, please. Like, oh my God. Like, he about to live outside in the tent in a minute.
Yes.
Because it's getting on my nerves. Like, all that whining stuff.
The whining is the worst, man.
It's so terrible. And I just like, or when he does try with me, like, maybe he don't realize who he talking to. I like, until you act like a big boy, you don't got nothing to say to me. Like, you have nothing to say to me.
Yeah.
So that drives me nuts too.
That's the big boys and the big girl. You supposed to be a big boy. You supposed to be a big girl. I guess that's supposed to encourage them to not cry. I did read a study once about allowing your kids to show their emotions.
The full range of emotion.
Yeah. When they cry, encourage them to cry. When they laugh, encourage them to laugh. Don't shun the crying so much because that is an emotion. Like,
but if you're whining though. I don't know if whining is an emotion.
I guess whining
that's just
is
more
not,
like
it's always a study for something. Somebody always got to study for something to say you're doing something wrong or you should be doing it this way. But I mean, it's
and you know the people who commission those studies are probably childless people.
Yeah,
because there's no way that if you have children, you'll feel comfortable putting out a study that says even if they're whining, just let them express their emotion. No, you're gonna as a parent. I'm pretty sure that drive every parent crazy. And I'm just supposed to sit there and allow that, you know, in the real world, you know. I know
as parents out there that allow their kids to just when they in the what they call them, the the nursery when they first had a baby, they just let them sit in there and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
I'm not that person. I'm definitely not that person. But you mentioned the nice, the sweet nice thing or sweet mean thing of your daughter. Well, I was talking about he the same way. Last week when you and I had an event we worked, my wife texted me say that Torrance was trying to find me. Like he had a full on meltdown. Like where's daddy? Start crying and stuff like that. So Trey, this is when I'm like, why can't you always be like this? Trey, he gives him a hug, wipes his tears, kisses him on the cheek, then give him a teddy bear, lays him on the couch and cover him with like a blanket or something like that. Like, you can be as sweet as you want to be, and take him to the I'm the older brother thing. I'm his big brother. That's the baby brother. Let me make sure he's okay and encourage him and console him.
Yeah.
Why can't you be? Or in the mornings when I drop them off to school, they walk in holding hands and he take them to his class or whatever. He helps take them to his class. I'm like, why can't you be that more often? Why do you have to have those moments of just be a unbelievable douche and say stuff like, I think maybe the other kids are faster than you? Like, why?
I don't know. I don't think my girl. I guess girls and guys are different. Boys are different. Mine fight, but I don't think they really say bad things towards each other. I don't think they know how to say bad things towards each other, really. So I think they just fight and just, I think I hear a lot of, you're stupid and all that, and I shut that up.
You shut that down, right. We won't call each other stupid, right.
I think I hear that often. You're stupid, I hate you, or something like that, stuff like that. But nothing too crazy than that. But I guess it's just sibling rivalries and just fighting. It's normal, I guess, in the black house. I guess
I don't know, because when I was growing up, like we fought and stuff like that. We argued. But one thing my parents were adamant on was not to tear each other down.
Right.
Like, don't call each other stupid or hate you type stuff. Like, if we did, that was a guaranteed get mauled in the face or something like that. Like, that was a guarantee. Like, you don't tear each other down. But this whole, I won't say, like, with Trey is necessarily tearing his brother down, but it's just like you just being a douche. Like, you just saying, like, why would you
could have kept that to
yourself. Why would you say you think the other kids are fast? What evidence do you have? Like, are you outside with a stopwatch and I don't know about it? Like, where would that even come from?
He knows these things.
He just knows. I've been watching him when you guys don't, and I don't think he got it, Dad.
He ain't got it.
I don't think he got it, Dad.
He done been around the block a couple times.
And that leads us to our next segment of How Much Did You Spend This Week?
How much did you spend?
You better stop worrying about money. You got some McDonald's money? That's 49 cents of spilt milk dripping all over my table.
Since we did stay home most of the week because of the hurricane, or we thought the hurricane was coming. Didn't really go outside much. Today's probably my first time coming out, really. So all I bought with this week for my kids was a number chart.
And how high up does the number go?
It goes all the way up to 100. I think they sent home the 120 sheet. So she got a little piece of paper, but I need it big, so I guess you can see it. So I guess I can see it as well. So it goes all the way to 100.
And aggressively point at it.
Yeah, and it got so bad to the point till it was like, do you know your numbers? Because it was like, bro, what are you doing? So I had her count all the way 1 through 120, so she knows her numbers. But when I'm like saying backwards or forward, I don't know if she gets confused or what's going on, but she just started saying random numbers that don't even belong. It's just, it confuses me, which I knew she was going to struggle with, because when Kennedy, my oldest, went through first grade, the homework that they were sending home was, the word problems.
Right. Oh, wow.
Da-da-da-da-da. Has 3 apples, has 2 apples.
Are they even able to read?
Right, it's like that. So I was like, okay, if they bringing this home in first grade, I know Kennedy's, she's cool with it. She can get that. She know how to read. But Khloi, I knew like, okay, let me get ahead of this, because once it hit, she's gonna fall behind.
Right.
And I knew this already, and now we're here at this stage, and now we're trying to hurry up, so she don't get too far behind. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
No
we
number chart.
We pray. But yeah, so number chart is the only thing I bought this week. It was $13. Ching.
Ching, ching.
That'll be here on tomorrow. So we'll be having stories about the number chart on next week of how we used it and if she is able to go forward and backwards. Let us know if your kids are having struggle. Are your kids struggling with forwards and backwards? What's the number before 10? What's the number after 10? Like, what's going on? Like, is it mine? Just mine? What's going on?
I think Trey, I think he struggles with before and after too. Like,
okay, maybe it's not
like
that
when
bad.
you say like we say what comes before 9 because a game we're playing or whatever, and it's like I don't think they just know what those words mean yet.
Right, that's what I think it is. They don't know what that means.
Right.
That's what it is. Because if I just say what comes, well, if I say, because the thing is, if I say what comes after 10, I think she sometimes says 11, but I don't think she know what the word before means. Maybe,
and then sometimes at least I get stuck on like, what's another word I can use to where they'll probably understand? That's why I get stuck in. Like, what can I use before?
That's the challenging thing. So I try to use the line leader thing because they know about the line leader. Oh, I want to be the line leader. You say all the people behind you are the numbers. I don't know. I be trying to create things, but I be confusing my nerves. So trying to put it another way because I think it's the words you don't understand.
Right.
So the sheet that you bring home, the teacher wants you to study, hey, count to 10, count to 120, and count backwards. Maybe I don't know if that's supposed to work because I think the problem is I teach different from the teacher. Mm-hmm. I feel like my logic is better than what she teaches.
Right.
So she wrote down all the proper steps, I guess, how to actually teach your child. Right. Have them read 1 through 20 and then have them read backwards and have them count by fives, count by tens. Which is a whole nother topic. We tried to do. I had to try to explain to her counting by fives and counting by ones. So I'm like, if you're counting by ones, you're not skipping numbers.
Right.
If you're counting by fives, you're obviously skipping five. She know that. So I'm like, okay. The problem says 80. Count by ones to 90. So you're obviously 81, 82.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand when I say just count.
Just count normal.
Just say just count normal because I want her to understand when she's reading the paper. It's not going to say count normal.
Count normal.
Count by one. So you need to understand when it says this, when you know how to read it, what to do. And that's the challenge I'm facing with her.
What's interesting with that, like, my younger two, and it's, I know it sounds like most of my stories are about my younger two, but those are the two that's just like
the reason for the podcast.
In charge of the house right now.
Right.
But Trey, the kindergartner, and Torrance, Torrance is like a math savant. Mm-hmm. Like, he can count by fives, count by twos, count by fours, count by one. I mean, and like he just spits it out. And matter of fact, on the car rides to school in the morning, he's doing math problems. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to do 22 plus 11, and he's getting them right. Or I want to do 3 plus 8 plus 5 plus 11. And it's times where he corrected me. I'm like, you know what, Torrance, that's right. So, and he's 4 years old. Now, I would love to know what his process is. But anyway, but Trey, though, I mean, I know he's on par with other kids his age, but when you got Torrance back there who just making up math problems and solving them, I mean, it's like, so is there something wrong with you, Trey? Like, why Torrance can do this and not you? And so
that's how it is with mine. The oldest knows how to do everything smooth, don't have to worry about her at all. And then it's the youngest that does the total opposite. And they got two different personalities.
Right.
One wants to actually learn, one, whatever. If I learn it, I learn it. But if I
don't,
whatever. And it's just so difficult trying to teach that one. So
right.
That's the struggle, man.
And it compounds itself with having a number chart. For $13.
$13 was the weekly spend of the week, but that's all I spent this week, and I'm pretty proud of the $13. I didn't really want to spend that, but
right.
I like Amazon, and it's easy. I didn't want to just actually go get papers and write 20,000 pieces of paper.
Right.
Just give me a number chart. I can put it up on the wall, and we can go that way. So.
Right.
$13. That's all.
$13. Hey, everybody. Just want to take a quick second to thank you for joining us on today's podcast.
Yes.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Be a subscriber. Know when the new videos are posted.
Yes.
New shorts are posted. And don't forget to find us on Facebook at Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids podcast.
Yes, sir.
And join the Facebook group, Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids, where parents come together, share our stories, laugh, give tips, give pointers, share memes and videos, and have a nice time. Yes. But again, like I said, thank you for joining us, and back to the rest of the episode. Welcome back, everybody, to Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids podcast. Again, where we just get together and talk about the crazy things our kids do.
Yes, sir.
As we jump into our next segment of parenting hacks.
Parenting hack. Listen up, parents. This is some information that you might need to know.
Yeah, there's just tricks and tools on making this parenting thing a little easier, if not a bit more entertaining. Parenting hack this week.
Okay.
If you have a problem with your young child lying or older kid, well, it may be harder to work on an older kid because they hopefully have some sense. But if you have a problem with your child not being too truthful, tell them that their eye color changes every time they lie. Hopefully, it gets them to think about, is my eyes changing colors when I tell a lie? Or if they're talking to you and their eyes are shut, you know they're lying.
There you go.
They're trying to cover up the fact that their eyes are changing colors.
Moral of the story, kids are stupid.
Take advantage. Take advantage. And see how long it lasts.
Have fun with it.
Have fun with it. So if they're talking to you, their eyes are shut, you already know what time it is. They did take those snacks.
Yes. And here's an opportunity to smack them upside the head. They won't see it coming. Parenting hack of the week.
Parenting hack. All right. So to jump into today's topic, the topics are typically things that we saw shared throughout the week in our Facebook group. Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids. Be sure to look for us. This week, it came across a video. Last week, we touched on school, the beginning of the school year, and teachers and different things like that. Well, there was a video that came through actually that showed a teacher trying to teach it in high school because the kids looked like they were high schoolers. Well, there was a young lady in the class who took her shoe off and threw it at the board while the teacher is working on problems and stuff like that.
I see that.
I mean, and then so when the teacher discovered who it was, because the kid only had one shoe on, the young lady was defiant as ever, telling her what she ain't gonna do. The teacher trying to get her to leave and say, "I'm not leaving," and ranting and raving and calling all out her name. And I commend this teacher for keeping her composure. She didn't lose it. She barely even elevated her voice, but she did call up to like the admin office to get a police officer in there, but she kept her cool. And as I'm watching this video for the first time, I felt myself insert myself into the classroom and thought about ways I would have jacked this little girl up because she trying me right now. She trying me hard, and that's just. And I know teachers are handcuffed. I mean, the long gone are the days where you get sent to the office and the principal, they have a paddle or anything. Those days are long gone. So
I remember the paddles.
I remember. I think I got paddled once in first grade. I think I don't know what I was doing, but I got paddled. And that's probably the last year they had that. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I was watching this video and I'm just like, this is why I couldn't be a teacher because I would lose my job. I mean, I
see stuff like that all the time on Twitter and the social world. And I don't worry so much about the teacher. I think about my kids. Like, bro, my kids didn't grow up like that.
That's what lead me to like, who raising this kid? Like,
now I have to put my kid in that environment, and I'm so overprotective and always trying to think of the next step. Always trying to think of the next thing. It's like, bro, I just can't be with them all the time. We already got to deal with drugs, sex, and not getting pregnant before
right.
marriage or blah blah blah. So now we got to deal with. I mean, you always gonna have the fights in class.
Right,
like we had fights in school, but it was never. I never been in the classroom where somebody took their shoe off and threw it. It's just getting worse.
Teacher.
It's getting worse and worse. And then the fact that the student like they were in the right to do it, and that they defending why they threw a shoe at the teacher.
And the student was sitting there like just knew the teacher can't do anything, and like repeatedly saying you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing, and. You know, you talk about you have your kid being in that environment, witnessing that, and now it's like is my kid emboldened to act out in class because hey, teachers can't do anything, and now I'm getting a phone call saying they hemmed the teacher up in a hallway or something, or they threw a shoe at the class, or the police had to restrain my kid or escort my kid out the classroom because. They don't know how to act.
There's so many things I don't know when to start teaching or how to start teaching. Like the few episodes we talked about the transgender, because it's like right now you cuddle them because they at elementary ain't really nothing going on in elementary school yet. But you know when you get to that next phase, next year my child has to go to a new school because she's going obviously to third grade. So we're getting closer to that age or that grade where. Stuff started happening.
Right.
Boys start getting interested. She starts getting interested, and drugs start coming in. And what is this? And skipping, and all this stuff is starting to come up. So, are getting close, and it's like, along with that, I mean, that's cool. Do your thing. I mean, we had the most fun when we skipped and tried to play out. I mean, okay, do that. I know that's gonna happen. I know I can't.
Right, that comes with the territory.
But the other things of I think it's just getting worse to the point where when we was in school. Yeah, we skipped, but now they want to skip and do cocaine. Like we just skipped. we just skipped, went to the beach. And, hey, we out here,
skipping
funny.
To us was heading up to Walmart up the street.
But now they want to skip and do drugs and have sex and do this and this other stuff, and it's just getting worse to the point now. I can't allow you to do the things I used to do because it's not like it was.
And that's one of those things where you pray about what type of friends they make. Like, hopefully they made friends with kids with similar values, similar upbringing, similar, their parents, instill the same morality or ethics, into their kid, and that's who they become friends with.
Constant prayer.
But you just don't know, and that you can't control that. All you can do is try to advise them as best they can, hope they listen, hope they take heed, but and don't think the little girl who throwing her shoe at the teacher in the classroom is the one to be friends with or the one to emulate. Like I put myself in that teacher place as I was watching that video. Like it would be a video like one of those videos of it going wrong where a teacher loses their mind and done suplex the kid.
I can see that doing. Because I think with me, it gets to a point if I get embarrassed.
I think that's what, like you embarrassed me in front of my class.
Yeah, I have to do something about that.
Like you like openly being defiant,
right?
And calling me out my name, and I'm just standing there, squeezing my hands together as best I can, and I just.
It's crazy because it don't matter what you do. If the teacher name calls you back, they're in the wrong.
If the
teacher throws a shoe back, she in the wrong. If the teacher don't do nothing, now it just look like you ain't doing nothing. It's
I've seen other videos where teachers have retaliated, and you read the comment section on stuff, and people like, at the end of the day, that is a child.
Yeah,
I'm like, they wasn't a child at the time they hit me. Like, you need to tell them they a child. Like, come on, like that.
Fine line, because I feel like everybody needs to be taught a lesson.
Yeah, everybody
now and then.
Everybody need to be taught a lesson.
You need to let them know that hey, throwing shoes is not permitted in this class.
It's like. That whole saying a child needs to stay in the child's place. Once you step out that box and approach me or engage with me as an adult, that should give me free reign to handle you.
Ding,
as
ding, it's on.
Like, ain't no way you're going to throw a shoe at me. Okay, I'm not going to immediately fly off the handle because you threw a shoe.
Right.
But once I'm telling you, you need to go or you need to leave my classroom, and the girl sitting there defiant, I ain't got to go nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. You can't do nothing to me. Like the urge to not snatch her up by her arm,
yes,
and like fling her through the door, like
I think that's where
like what Uncle Phil used to do on Fresh Prince. Like that's where I would.
Yeah, that's the part right there.
That would be the part right there where you got me on video
trying to hold back because everybody got their phone.
Everybody got their phone, and exactly everybody got their phone.
And I'm gonna give them a show because it's just like you want a show, we gonna give you a show. If I'm
getting in trouble, it's gonna be for a good reason.
I could see her sitting down in her seat, and I could see me taking the seat
just picking up the whole seat,
slinging it out the door while she's in the seat.
Right, taking the whole seat.
Not put my hands on her, but slinging it through the door. And that would give me so much relief. I could feel that.
That'd be one of those moments where, because of the relief, I'm smiling in my mugshot now.
Yes, I'm smiling in my mugshot.
And I've sent the message to my other students. You could have missed a Bradford class.
I think you have to walk in with the mindset of this could be my last day.
But I wonder, like it's almost like first day of school. You got to come in and just start sending favors down. Well, we ain't gonna do in my class.
Yeah,
and set the tone that way. Like this guy's crazy. So it's definitely like I was watching that video and I could feel my blood boiling because A, if I was that teacher, and B, if that was my child, like you could add all hard and big and bad now. But once it reached me, once they call me, because the police involved now, they have to call me. Mm-hmm. Like how now I gotta keep myself from showing out on you at the school. I gotta wait until we drive home before I just unload on you now. Like
I just don't know, man. And that's why I'm so hard on my youngest. My oldest is the I guess the angel child. She's not gonna do anything, or she does stuff. She throws, she hits her sister behind, hides her hand and stuff like that before I see it. I'm sure she does that, but I don't have to worry with her so much. She's gonna be, she knows the rules. She knows this. She's gonna stay quiet because she know there's a belt involved if something goes wrong or if teachers or whatever. But it's my youngest that I can see the little sneaky ways and the little lies that she tell, or the little little things that she do that I'm so strong on now because they little things now, but now you let those go by too much and now you're throwing shoes at the teacher.
It's like you try to make the small things a big deal.
Right.
So that keeps the larger things like, okay, if this is a big deal here, I won't even escalate. Like that's how I am with my 5-year-old with Trey. Like I could see him just spazzing out one day in school. Mm-hmm. Like just acting unhinged. And I'm like, when he's doing things here at home, whether he just throws something for no reason, or he just takes the clothes out the drawer and stuff. Like I jump on those things now so that the bigger things hopefully don't materialize. So he know that there are boundaries there, sir. Like you can't just
it's just
acting ass. Like you can't just. So yeah, that video there, like, what would you do, like, for the teachers out there? How do you handle things like that? Let us know, and maybe you'll reaffirm to us why teaching wasn't something we got into.
Hey, I knew I couldn't be one. I don't know because I just couldn't see my daughter. And I caught myself yesterday talking to God like, bro.
That's how you talk to God, bro.
Am I doing the right thing? Like, because I everything I do is something planned to it. So the reason, and I try to explain to my child, the reason I'm taking your tablet away from you, or the reason you can't have it, is because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Now, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can have your tablet. You can do anything you want, You do your studies. Now, I know you young. You don't want to do no stupid studies, but whatever. But I explained that to her, but it's like, and when I took the tablet from her, she obviously cried more because her sister gets the tablet and you don't get the tablet. So I'm like, am I doing the right thing? And I just feel like I can only teach what I know or how I was raised.
Right.
So I don't know. I just don't want my kid growing up throwing shoes. And I just don't want that.
Now, on the opposite end, on how not to handle it, as the adult, I saw another video. It was a football coach. Mm-hmm. They in the middle of a game, and whatever the player did or whatever, he chewing him out on the sideline. Mm-hmm. Then he punches the kid in the stomach. I don't know what the kid did. It didn't show us that, but it just showed him like yeah.
And
then he came with a little punch in the gut, and right, and the kid, you could tell the high school kid again. He like bent over, like struggling to breathe, and now I'm like defensive mode parent. Now like if I'm at this game, and if he chew him out, okay, whatever.
Right.
That's a part of some coaches or whatever.
Right. Chew him out, cuss him out,
right.
Run him till he about to fall out, but don't put your hands.
But don't put your hands on. And I'm like, well, that's not the way to handle that. To where whatever it is he did wrong, I'm sure didn't merit a punch in the gut. Like. And so that's one of those we talk about all the time. Now I got to prove how much I love my kid.
Now we got a stadium full of people.
I got to hop over the fence.
I got to hop over the fence and whoop your behind.
Somebody looking at me. Did he just hit your kid?
Right. Now everybody instigating.
And now I got to respond appropriately.
Everybody instigating.
Fight the coach in the middle.
I gotta fight the coach to stop the game.
Right, stop the game because I
gotta put gunshots in the air because you done punched my kid. Like that's the only way to respond.
That's the only way to respond to that moment. I can't even just yell. I gotta go fight now. I gotta look. I gotta
it's
look.
One of those things where I see you punch my kid, and yes, I'm pissed.
Right.
But now somebody else said, "Did he just punch your kid?"
People instigating that,
and now I feel like
all
I have
eyes
to do
on
something.
me. Right, all eyes on me
what
now.
Do you
and
do in that situation? Do you just go down there and have a shouting match with the coach, or do you put your hands on the coach,
or do you call your kid to the side, tell them to take
right?
Their gear
Do you
off
take
and
your
walk
gear off
away?
and walk away?
Like
what is it?
He just punched my kid.
He just punched my kid. Like, are we supposed to fight now? Like, am I supposed to fight you now in front of all these people and then tell my kid?
He'll try to figure it out. Do we fight now?
Do we fight? Do we have a nice conversation about this, or what do we do?
This place is haunted. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. I think this place is haunted. All right, that was weird. We live.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the appropriate response would be to do.
I don't know what to do, man. Like,
because we're not a man if we don't go down there and whip his behind.
Right. Like, I just want, and that'd be one of those things. Like,
I guess the fact that we have to ask what to do mean we're not real men in quotation marks.
We'll love our kid enough.
We're not real men because we have to ask what do we do.
Like, I feel like that's one of them things where the coach knows he come from like a single mom household, so he doesn't have a father figure to represent him out there. So I can punch him and she'll come cuss me out, but it won't be no kind of physical retaliation.
Right. Well,
and now
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's so between them two videos, like I commend the teacher, but I probably would have acted more aggressively there. But in the football video, like, whoa, you took that too far.
You took it just a little too far.
You went a little too far. You punched the kid.
You punched the kid.
You punched the kid. Like, what is going on? Like, he's just standing there. Like, he didn't touch it. He could have messed up a play that bad to where you punch him. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know.
It's one of those when you talk sports to people and non-sports folk don't understand the emotion that people put into it. And they're like, it's just a game or whatever. You try to argue whether it is serious or whatever. But at the same time, that type of situation, like, it's not that serious, though.
It's not that serious.
It's not that. Because now...
Unless there's money on the line.
Unless there's money. He probably have money on the line. He cost him $1.50. Like, what?
We take it that far.
I use this to feed my kids.
I can't feed my kids.
I can't feed my kids now. But shoot, I was about to say something. But yeah, so that's just one of those cases where you don't. And now, because it's on video, you lose your job.
Yeah.
So you ain't able to coach no more. This follows you.
Everything is recorded.
Everything recorded. Like our football coaches are probably able to get away with a little assault. Because it was your word versus the kid word.
All right. Somebody got their phone out, bro.
Somebody got their phone. Everything is recorded.
If something happens, don't retaliate because there's a phone somewhere. Unless you want to be famous on social media.
Unless you want to be famous on social media. Don't retaliate. Just keep you cool. Keep your composure.
Yes.
Because I don't even know where these videos are from. But you got two guys isolated at home during a hurricane commenting on your behavior.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
Unless you want to make our show, then we appreciate the content.
Yeah. We trying to go viral too. We might need to punch somebody.
We might need to punch a kid.
Hey, we got to punch a kid to get 1,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. Find me a kid.
You see that video?
Find me a kid.
He punched the kid. Yeah, I punched the kid.
I knock a kid out for 1 million subscribers right now. So
right now.
But yeah, I don't know how far with this adulting thing. Everybody's it's a trial by trial basis.
I think we're all winging it.
Yeah, we're just all winging it. I mean, I blame the doctors. They just let you here you go without an instruction manual or a PDF or anything. They just let you go and let you raise your kid how you want to raise it. If you want to just keep your kid in the corner all day and feed them once a week, or you want to punch them, or if you want to spit on them, it's like it's your child. You could do whatever you want to do with them.
The problem is nothing happens to after the fact. Like, you done already punched him. Now, don't come in and tell me I'm not equipped to be a parent.
Right.
I wasn't equipped.
I wasn't equipped
when I took him from the hospital.
I wasn't equipped. I told you this.
I told you. You saw me cry. Like, right. I told you I don't know what to do.
I don't know
and
what to do.
And you let me leave anyway and sent me a bill. So now it's kind of your fault, doctor.
It is kind of your fault.
It's kind of your fault. You
should have. I explained this to you. I do know how to do the intercourse thing. I just don't know how to do the thing after.
You let that single mom who already had 3 kids walk out with another baby.
Yes.
I think it's kind of on you, doctor. You didn't encourage, after the 3rd baby, you didn't encourage birth control.
Nope.
You didn't hand her a box of condoms.
Nope.
All you gave her was a coupon to the Little Caesars to feed a kid every week. Yep. Sponsor us, Little Caesars.
Little Caesars and condoms.
We gonna mention Little Caesars.
This is 3 episodes in a row, Little Caesars and condoms. We gonna mention y'all.
We gonna mention you every week until
Trojans. Sponsored by Little Caesars. Sponsors are both of y'all.
Little Caesars. We see you. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Some Trojans and Little Caesars Friday night. Make it a good night.
Make it a good night. Send the kids off to the room.
Send the kids off
after they had their Little Caesars.
Yeah. And
then slip on the Trojan.
Yeah. Punch them. Slip on the Trojan. Do your business. Then eat some Little Caesars.
Eat some Little Caesars afterwards because you've built up an appetite.
Right. You done had a long week. You know what I mean?
So that's this week's episode. We thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed. If you are the parent, teacher, or coach who hitting kids, keep putting videos out there so that we can leave our feedback too.
Right.
If you're not one of those parents, remember to find us on Facebook. Let Me Tell You I Hate My Kids podcast. Join our group. Let me tell you I hate my kids. And join in the laughs. Keep sharing the videos.
Yes.
Keep creating posts. Keep the engagement up. We love you all. This has been episode 10.
Episode 10.
We made it to 10.
Parents, we up.
Parents, we up. Y'all be blessed.
Daddy, where's Mommy?